What's going on, guys? CardMechanic here, and I just reached 2K subscribers. So I think we all know what that means. So I'd just like to start off this video by saying thank you so much for all your support. Reaching 2K subscribers is something that I've really been shooting for a couple of months now. It just hasn't been happening, and then it finally happened, so it feels so good. And it wouldn't have happened without your support. So there's just so much stuff going on in this video. I'm going to share with you my deck collection. We have giveaway, and that's about it. So now getting right into my deck collection, I actually have two sets of collections. The first set is just my display collection. So these are cards I just have on display here. If anyone comes over, they want to check out all the cards I got, bam, there it is. So I don't really play around with these cards too much, but they're all there looking all nice and neat. So let's go over these cards. So starting off directly with the top row, an experienced person will probably be able to tell you that these are mostly used for cardistry or flourishes. Now you've probably seen me use some of these decks in my videos, which is part of my separate deck collection. Those are the decks I use those for. So you probably see me use at least this deck right here, this deck, and the Verts deck. So I've used at least 3 of these decks in my videos. And these decks that I actually used in my videos, these are really, really nice decks. I'd say in order of my favorite to least favorite, definitely this is amazing for cardistry. The design is just so cool and everything. It's just absolutely awesome. This deck right here, Art of Cardistry, this is also a really amazing deck. Let me see if I can show you all these cards later, when I move on in the video. But we got this deck, and this deck is also really awesome. So I'd say 1, 2, 3. Now I wouldn't say any of these are bad decks, but these are all pretty awesome decks. Just my favorite to my third favorite, that would be the order. Now these other 3 decks I got here, let me put these back up. Nope. Yep, there we go. So these other 3 decks, I have used this yellow deck before, the yellow Verts deck. This is just as nice as the green one. And I know when I was actually looking on Amazon, these decks are actually quite pricey at around $60 now. I think these are about 18 to 20. These go for $60 a pop. So they actually might be worth it. They're just such amazing cards when you're doing flourishes, when you're doing, just showing off. Even if you don't really have much to show off, there's just so much to show off. So this is just an absolutely amazing deck. Now I'd love to talk to you about the Orbit deck, but I don't feel like I can. I've actually never opened up the Orbit deck. I know I have one, so I might just open it up right now, later on in the video. But the Orbit deck, I can't really talk about. So we'll come back to that later on in the video. And then these cards right here. These cards are actually amazing. I don't remember what they're called. What are they called? Yes, these are the Memento playing cards, and I have an open deck. I'll show it to you, later on, but these are actually just so cool. I love the design. Like, look at that. That looks amazing. Even the deck, like this cardboard box, feels so cool. And for me, a lot of the deck is just the box. And just having a really nice, plain, simplistic box it's just absolutely amazing. The more I go into this video, the more I realize I'm saying absolutely amazing. So you can just, if I say that again, just replace it with good, great, awesome, over, average, just any of those words you want to use, you can just replace them right over that. Now here in the second row, I actually have a bit of my cardistry continued with this Rhombus Space deck. This is actually a really nice deck as well. And again, just along the same lines with these cardistry. Now these 2 decks by Daniel Madison, I think are just so great. Like, Daniel Madison is actually one of my favorite magicians, because I don't know, it just has that aroma, something about him, which is just really cool. So these white Madison Rounders, I think, are just definitely one of my favorite decks, because look at that, they're so nice, clean, borderless. They just look really nice. I like that plain, simplistic design. And then of course, if you take a look, they're just a regular, ordinary deck, but again with the faces that Daniel Madison himself has designed. And then of course we got those crows as the jokers, and if you take a look, I don't know how well you can see that, but there's coin here that says 9 of clubs on it. And here it just has that Madison symbol. So just a little cool, neat things here and there. So these are the white Madison rounders. And of course, you've seen me use these Madison dealers. The backs look like that. You've seen me use the Madison dealers in my videos, so you got a bit of that there. Now next we have these Fathom playing cards. I'm not a huge fan of these cards. I just got them because I wanted to get them. To me, they kind of feel like the weird but cool kid, right? I have played with these a little bit, so they are a bit shuffled up. But it seems a bit strange to me, but it's also kind of cool. So I don't really know how I feel about these cards. On some days, it's like, yeah, this is a nice deck. Check it out. On other days, it's like, oh, yeah, this is a nice deck. Let's not play with this deck ever. So this deck kind of just depends on my mood. Now up next, we got these bees, the bees knees, right here. We got the super bees and the killer bees. And I actually just like these cards a lot because I'm sure you've seen me use them in my videos. But the texture of these cards are actually just really nice. If you actually take the time and feel the texture of the cards, they're completely different than the average bicycle playing cards that you come across. I forgot exactly what kind of finish they have, but they have a different finish than the bicycle playing cards or the tally-ho playing cards, which I'm going to get into right after this, right? So definitely, if you don't have these cards, or if you can get a hold of these cards, these are really nice decks to have. Man, I feel like this has already been a really long video, and I'm only halfway through the display set. Right, so up next, you can see I have these tally-ho cards right here. We got the blue tally-ho, we got the red tally-ho, and the black tally-ho Vipers. The Vipers were actually my favorite deck for like a couple years of my card handling, card trick, cardistry career. They were just so cool. Like when I was actually walking around on my school campus, a couple years back, and I was just playing around with these cards, people actually came up to me and recognized that these were the tally-ho Vipers. So I think that was just that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So tally-ho, they have a really nice finish. I think it's called linoid finish. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. If not, then you guys could just yell at me in the comments for that. But again, great cards. So next we have the executive deck. Now I know I said I don't really use these much, but you can see this is a little beat up. But these cards are quite nice. They're actually a bit thin. Like they bend really easily. They're a bit thin, but they are really nice to use. Like if you're doing cardistry or anything like that, I think these are actually quite nice to use. They're not, too insane, not too slippery, but they're just a great deck to use. Then of course, most people know the Ghost playing cards. I actually don't use these that much. I'm not a huge fan, although they're quite nice. Like the design is absolutely beautiful. But again, for some reason, I'm not a huge fan of these. I don't know why, but I think this is a great deck if you, have that interest in these Ghost playing cards. I may just not use them because this is maybe the only one I have. So I don't want to, use these and mess them up. So I may just have them and not use them because of my display collection. And now the Arcane deck here actually used to be one of my favorite decks. One of my favorite decks that I did not use, right? The Tally-Ho Vipers was my favorite deck that I did use. So there's a difference there. But I like these cards so much. I colored the edges. I blacked them out with using a Sharpie. And that just added so much more to these cards. I think the design of these cards was so cool. I felt like such a cool kid when I had these cards. It was just, so cool. Now down here, as you can see, this is my Artifice deck collection. I think these cards, in terms of collection, they were my favorite, right? Because, like, for example, you have the Tally-Ho, you have the Viper, the red blue. So I like these. I like the Arcane decks. I like the bees. I liked a bunch of these decks. But in terms of collection-wise, these were awesome. Because I went to a party, I had like a purple tie-on. Boom, you got a purple Artifice deck. You had a green tie-on, you got green, blue, gold, black, white. This is so cool. And actually, this is my favorite Artifice deck, is the Black Club. I just love this black and gold color. It just, look at that. It just looks so nice. And the box is so nice as well. You can kind of feel the texture as you know, run your finger across. Artifice. Oh yeah, so nice. Right, so these cards, I think the Ace of Clubs on these cards was actually the really nice looking one. If I can get that. Yep, there it is. Look at that. Look at that Ace of Clubs. Oh, oh man, what a deck. What a deck. And then last but certainly not least, I have the Infinity deck here. Now personally, I'm not a huge fan of cards that have a lot of writing on the back like the Infinity deck does. Infinity deck. I just feel like there's a lot going on in the back. So I'm just not a person that, you know, loves a whole lot in terms of, you know, the design on the back. But I still think these are nice cards. Like, look at that. Look at that Ace of Spades. So these actually, I think, still look pretty cool. But again, just my personal preference. I just don't like a whole lot of stuff going on. So I really don't use these much. And luckily, I only bought one. So bam, I got these in my display collection. Right? So that is pretty much it for the cards I have on display. So now here you got my collection. It is, you know, split into 9 sections. Again, only like 5 of these sections have cards. The other things just have, you know, stuff that I use, sunglasses, and we'll see all that later. So the first section here, I just got a whole lot of standard bicycle playing cards. These are just cards that I can just pull out, use, you know, if I'm playing card games, or if I just need a new deck for one of my videos, I just pull from here, and that's all set. Now here I have cards that are similar to this collection, except here, the cards that I have, I kind of only use them for certain videos. Like for example, the Madison Dealers, boom, Madison Dealers. These I only use for certain videos. If I'm making like CardMechanic specific videos, I use these. And then of course, I have my Tally-Ho Vipers, which I do like using from time to time. So not only do I use these for videos, but I also use these if I'm performing for people. And boom. And now since these are the ones I actually used, as you can see, I have colored these in black as well. I don't know what it is about the Tally-Ho Vipers. I really like these cards. Okay, I'm putting them back in. This is just a double-sided card that comes pretty standard with any like Illusionist or like Theory 11 deck. And these cards are the ones I was talking about earlier from my display collection. They're pretty nice cards. Great for cardistry. I love that they have that center, and you can kind of see it on both sides. Like, for example, here, you see the center on the 10 of spades. You can't really see it on the ace of spades. And why are these? But, like, you see it here on the jack of spades. So you can see the center, and I think it's kind of really cool where you can just see the center of each deck. So, boom, we got that. Start putting these back. And these cards, if I can get them out, are actually by Chris Angel that I got when I went to Vegas. I think they're a pretty cool deck. Did I overpay for them? 100% sure. Is it just like any other bicycle deck? Yes. The only difference is the jokers, and I got an extra 2 of spades. So that's about it. Next up, I have this Aristocrat deck here. Now, I'm going to tell you as it is right now. I don't like these cards. I don't know why, but I just don't like these cards. I don't like the design. There's too much going on in the back. The normal is pretty much the same as a regular bicycle deck, but it's just darker. So, for example, this 4 of hearts is just a bit darker than the regular 4 of hearts. So I'm not a huge fan of this deck at all. The jokers are different. But, I mean, I just got it, so I have, you know, more decks in my collection. Then, of course, you got to stockpile up on these Virtuoso decks. You can see, boom, stockpiled right up on them. These are Black Masters Bicycle playing cards. I kind of like them. I don't really use them a whole lot. Wasn't really a huge fan of these borders here, but they're still pretty cool. I think they're a pretty nice deck to have as part of your collection. And then here I have the Orbit deck that I have opened up in my display case, as you saw here. If I can pull this out, yep. in my display case you saw here, this is the 6th edition Orbit deck. I have opened up the 5th edition. I don't think there should be a whole huge difference between the two, but I got them here. Right, so I have handled these cards, and I gotta say, these are some really, really nice cards. Honestly, when I first got them, I'm like, these look kind of stupid. Why would anyone buy these? Like, look at that Joker. I thought they looked kind of stupid, and like, look at that. But then when I actually use them from the back, they look really nice. They're just so cool. They look really nice from the back. If you're doing cardistry, I would 100% recommend these cards. Now, this center section here, I have these decks that I somewhat designed on the Bicycle Design website. So, as you can see the design on the back of these cards. Honestly, I kind of like these cards. Like, look at those faces. I kind of like these cards, but the problem I had is the quality of the cards that you design when you don't buy in bulk, at least. The quality of the cards you design on the Bicycle website, these are trash. Like, I would not use these cards to perform any card trick. But they're definitely a nifty thing to have, great to use for card games and whatnot. So, you know, I got them to get them. I didn't really know the quality at the time, but now I know. So, if you want to design your own cards, you can do that, but just remember that they're not going to be the best quality design. Alright, so now here we have the 6th edition Orbit deck. You know what? I think I could open this up. Oh, nice. We got an alien. Last time we had an astronaut. Now we got aliens. That's pretty cool. I gotta say, that is pretty cool. I like it. The front is different. I kind of like that. The face of these cards are slightly different than the other ones. I like these cards. And of course, the back is different. Like, look at that. These actually look quite nice. Got that alien spaceship going across. These are quite nice cards. Man. Oh, beautiful. Oh my god, that's actually quite beautiful. Let me see if I can show you that. They dribble so nicely. My god. Whew, should have opened these earlier. And then of course I have Tally Ho. I think I have a Masters Blue Bicycle. Another one of my decks. Rhombus Space deck. If you want to take a look at that, I showed it to you earlier. Boom, that's what it is. Those are how the backs of the cards look. Boom, look at that. Jokers are quite nice. Look at that Ace of Spades right there. Look at these cards. They are pretty cool. I gotta say, like, these are definitely cards that I would use if I was doing cardistry or just showing off to people. So definitely use these cards for that. All right, put these back in. Oh, and then the Memento playing cards. Honestly, when I first saw these cards, I'm like, that looks kind of stupid. Like, who would get these colorful cards? But then you actually get the cards and, like, they're so nice. Like, my god, look at that. Like, I kind of like that prism kind of design on the cards. Like, that looks so beautiful. I really like these cards. I didn't think I would in the beginning, but the more, you know, the more I looked at them, the more I played around. These are some really nice cards, I gotta say. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And then of course we got that red Masters Bicycle deck. And now in this section here, I usually keep all my gimmicks. So let me just show you an example. For example here, we got a blank deck. Completely blank. If you want to use it for anything, go crazy, and I use them for anything. So we got that. There's just a lot of stuff. I don't want to go through everything. This is actually the extractor. What is it called, the extractor? I forgot what this was called. Oh, I forgot to put this away. But now that I have this out, I can show you how cool it was. So, right, you kind of had this fake pretend deck. And you put the card in. Right, so you put that card in, boom, close that up. And the best part here was the card stuck out of the box. So you can actually just grab it, you can palm it. I got my hand are super dry. But but you could like palm it out of the box, and the person would not even know, and you got that card out. So this was really cool. Maybe I'll try to use this in one of my videos later on. But we got that. Where was this again? And there's just a bunch of setup decks I have here. I don't remember what this is. There has to be something weird about this deck. Ah, yes! It's double-faced. It's a double-faced deck. That's what it was. So there's just a lot of cool gimmicks and stuff I keep around in this area. And in the back, like the back where you can't really see, I just have some collectible cards there. So moving on to this last section here, I have a Killer Bees deck without a box. So I got that here. I have another set of Madison Dealers. I have an Arcane deck. I have a gimmicked Ghost deck, as you can see, 3 of Spades. And there's just... is it backwards? Yeah, there's just so much stuff, so many gimmicks here. A lot of things that I can actually use. So maybe I'll use this in one of my videos after I actually learn how to use it. But there's a lot of cool things. Like there's that card matrix with the pips. Look at that. So there's just a lot of cool stuff in here that I have not really tried out yet. But we got them. We got the stuff. I have a little deck of horrors. I know they're giving this away on Illusionist right now. And yeah, just have a bunch of cool gimmicks. I have a fanning deck here. The dragon fanning deck. If my fanning skills were good, I would show you the fan of the dragon. Is this the right one? So as you can see there, boom, you got that dragon, and then when fanned perfectly, you go bam. Wow, that was a garbage fan. But when fanned perfectly, you can kind of see that dragon come alive, right? So we got fanning decks, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on here. Right, so in short, that is my collection set. Alright, so I know that was a lot for one video, but you guys wanted to see my deck collection, so bam, there it is. Now getting into the good stuff, the giveaway. So now this will be the biggest giveaway yet that I have done on my channel. So there are actually going to be 3 prizes for 3 different people, right? Usually it's just one person gets everything, but now 3 prizes for 3 different people. So the 3rd place winner will win some nice standard bicycle playing cards, the 1 to 2 decks, get them to you as soon as possible. Now the 2nd place winner will get a nice Orbit deck of playing cards, and these were just freshly opened, so I can 100% say that the Orbit deck, 6th edition and the 5th edition are really nice. And then the grand prize winner will actually win one of my t-shirts. So now you can go and tell your friends about me. So 1st place, you'll get this awesome t-shirt or pretty much any color that you want. 2nd place, you'll get that nice Orbit deck. And 3rd place, you'll get some cool standard bicycle playing cards. So there's a lot to win, and I'm looking forward to a ton of entries so I can give away all these prizes. So now, as usual, you can have up to 3 entries per person. The first entry is if you subscribe to my channel and leave hashtag giveaway in the comments below. Bam, 1 entry confirmed. Now, if you want 2 entries, in addition to subscribing and leaving hashtag giveaway, you're also going to follow me on Instagram. And of course, the link to this is in the description. Follow me on Instagram as well, so that'll get you 2 entries. And then in addition to doing these 2 things, if you go on my Patreon page and support me by paying in any of the, I don't even know how many tiers I have anymore, by joining any of the tiers, it ranges from $2 to $25. You join any of those tiers, that'll guarantee you 3 entries into this giveaway. So now there's so much for you guys to do. After seeing my deck collection, you can either add decks to your collection, throw away decks, of course go for all the giveaway stuff, the subscribing, hashtag giveaway, Instagram, Patreon, do all that stuff to win as many prizes as possible, or get as many entries as possible. But yeah, this is just my small way of saying thank you so much for supporting me for the past, I don't know, year and a half it's been at this point. So thank you so much for your support. And yeah, just looking forward to achieving new heights with you guys. And that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And it really means so much to me that you guys helped me get to 2K subscribers. Looking forward to moving on that journey to 5K by the end of the year. So your support for that would really, really be appreciated. Make sure to go check out my Patreon page to help support my channel, because again, your support really means so much to me. So I'll put the link to that in the description, and also in the description it's a link to all my social media, so you can follow me on there for photos, videos, status updates, and all that kind of good stuff. So all that being said, I will see you in the next video. Oh wow, you guys are still here. I need to start leaving some prizes or something, because why else would you stay here this long? But in the meantime, like, share, subscribe, because if you do, you are awesome. Thanks for watching.